This is the Backseat Sports NFL Podcast.
Hey, I'm just here so I don't get fired.
Playoffs? We'll talk about playoffs. Because I love me some me.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Backseat Sports NFL Podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm
and
Caleb.
That is Caleb.
That
And-
is.
Oh
Woo.
my word! And we are back with the second edition of the NFL Podcast here on Backseat Sports. And man, this has been one heck of a week for NFL news. Like
Big
for us,
facts.
basically, yeah, we literally posted our last podcast last week, and then the news started flooding in with the combine, starts of free agency, teams making cuts, trade deadlines, free agency options, franchise tags. Oh my goodness, crazy amounts of news. But as you guys know, we're not just a news source around here. We like to have a little bit of fun, and so
Fun first, sports
news second. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. So we're going to do a little game at the beginning here with our quick question. It's going to be guess that player. We're going to do few little hints for each player. And we're going to try to guess what player it is. Then we're going to talk about the news. And, then we got a little bit of talk about maybe a few draft scenarios. And then, we'll go from there. So with that said, I think we should hop into this first segment of the day. A little guess that player action.
Josh and I have 6 questions, and they each get a little bit easier. Some questions are helpful. Some of these statistics are helpful. Others are not. Most of them are probably not. And
Yep.
we're gonna get right into it.
It basically just gets, you start out broad, you get narrower,
Exactly.
Simple as that. But I guess I'll ask you first, okay? How about
Okay.
this? All right. So the first hint, this is about as broad as it gets. This player entered the NFL draft as a junior in college. All right. Just a little bit of context for this man. Do you want to guess?
A junior.
Yes, as a junior, he entered a year early. He forewent his senior season. All right.
Johnny Manziel.
Oh, so close.
Oh wait, he's not in the NFL. Dang it.
CFL. Oh no, he just got cut from the CFL.
Yeah, he did. He just
Oh no, poor Johnny,
F in the chat.
bro. And
After the chat.
did you watch his Cold as Balls episode with?
I did.
With
That was a
Kevin
a
Hart?
good one.
It was good. I actually believed him that he was
I
going
was-
to try to actually make a comeback and really do work, but
I was hoping.
he tricked us once
Dang
again.
it, Johnny.
All right, well, you were so close with that one. All right, so close. All right, this one will be a little bit more helpful. Okay.
All right, Josh.
He was targeted 26 times in the red zone this season, which was tied for most in the NFL.
26.
26 times in the red zone this season, which was tied for most in the NFL.
Julio Jones.
It's not Julio Jones.
Yeah.
But you're getting warmer, all right? You know what I mean?
All right.
From Johnny Manziel to Julio Jones, you're getting a little warmer,
Those are real players.
Yep. All right, this player was drafted in the second round.
Ooh, a second round wide receiver.
Yep.
Forewent his senior year. Julio Jones didn't forego his senior year, I don't think.
No.
So that was kind of bad on my part. Sorry, fam.
Oh.
Sorry, fam. 26 targets.
No one coming to mind? We can go on to the next tip.
All right. Just go to the next one.
Okay.
I was trying to think of something funny.
So to combine with his targeting stat, so he was targeted 26 times in the red zone, which was tied for most in the NFL, but only had 6 touchdowns, which was 16th in the NFL.
Here's stats that I can get with. OBJ.
No, not OBJ.
Dang it.
So the next stat, or the next hint, is that he's under the age of 25. This is
Under
the fifth.
25.
Yep, this is the fifth. It's getting a little bit more narrow now.
Is it Juju?
Bangarang! It is
Yeah.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah, he did forego. That's right.
Yep. And so Juju, my final hint was he has his own YouTube channel, joined Fates, and loves playing Fortnite with Ninja.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, because I love those stats of seeing the percentage. But
yeah, that really surprised me. I didn't know that he was targeted 26 times in the red zone this year. That's crazy.
That's what threw me off for sure.
Yeah, that's insane.
Because I was thinking high dollar, and then my fear was it was like some tight end. And I was like,
Right.
yeah.
What's crazier is that Antonio Brown led the league in touchdowns this year with 15.
Again, also what threw me off the scent.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, for him to be targeted 26 times in the red zone, even with Antonio Brown getting that many touchdowns, it's pretty insane. And that also kind of explains why he only has 6 touchdowns in the red zone. Or, I mean, 6 touchdowns when AB's eating up all those, eating up all those TDs, you know? Which is going to be really interesting to see what happens with Juju this season after AB leaves town, you know, which, of course, we're going to talk about later in the episode.
Very
all right,
true,
well, with
very
that,
true.
hit me with some hints here.
All right, Josh. My first hint. You know, this could help you being from Ohio. He was born in Mentor, Ohio.
I only know of like players who were from who went to Ohio,
Yeah.
or like who went to like Ohio colleges.
Do you even know where Mentor is? Mentor, Ohio?
No idea.
Okay.
I've lived here for 4 years. I have no idea.
Okay. Second, his birthday is in August.
I know Tom Brady's birthday is in August, but he ain't from Ohio.
Okay. No, yeah, he's from California.
Wait. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna
Hit
guess.
me with a guess.
I don't even know if this guy's from Ohio, but I know he went to a college in Ohio. Big Ben?
It is not Big Ben.
Okay.
All right, next. He averages 6.1 yards per carry over his career.
Oh, fluff. He's a running back. Wow, from Ohio. 6.1 yards per carry?
Yep.
That's a really good number, too.
That's an insane number.
That's an insane number.
That is insane.
He's from Ohio. What? I don't know of any running back from Ohio. Wow. Yeah, hit me with the next hint. Yeah.
His longest run of his career is 46 yards.
Man, you're not giving me anything.
No. This one will really
okay.
switch it up for you. He is a quarterback.
Oh my word. You're doing me dirty. You are evil.
I was scared, man. I was like, Josh is going to pull some random guy. And I was just terrified.
Yo, what?
He's a quarterback.
Oh my word. Okay, so he averages 6.1 yards per carry. Okay, well, you could have like 4 carries then. Quarterback from Ohio whose birthday's in August. What? How do I know this?
Right,
6.1 yards per carry. That's not even like that good for a quarterback then. Like I feel like quarterbacks have pretty solid yard per carry averages. I don't know.
His alma mater is North Carolina.
Mitch Trubisky?
Yep.
He's from Ohio?
That's what I said.
I did not know that.
I didn't know who to put out. Yeah, Mitch Trubisky.
Wow.
That's why I thought it was interesting.
That is really interesting.
I'm like, he's from Ohio, and I'm like, why did he go to North Carolina?
You were doing me dirty with those stats, man. I'm spending all this time thinking about running backs. I'm like, what running back is from Ohio? 6.1 yards per carry. I'm like, this dude can't be like a veteran because there's no way you can maintain that.
Yeah, that's exactly. So I was hoping you'd get on the young person path.
Yeah,
and I was maybe thinking with the first one, like, you know, Mentor, Ohio, maybe like somebody's
oh my goodness, I don't know, man. That's crazy.
I was thinking maybe somebody from like BG was like,
yeah, what
hype.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm from Mentor. Mitch Trubisky's my boy. You know,
I haven't heard that. You know, there's not many people who could take pride in being known by Mitch Trubisky.
I mean,
hey, well, I mean, it worked out well. I mean, hey, there you go. You know, it was our first time doing that type of
maybe I won't be as devious next time.
Yeah, those were some. Talk about broad. I thought I was going broad. You were going broad. I guess with that we could transition into the incredible amount of news we have for this episode.
Whew.
Yeah.
All right, Josh, just go as fast as you can.
Nah. We can
let
take our time on
let me
this
hear
one.
your auctioneer.
Nah.
It is interesting.
21
news,
good
though.
by.
And
Oh, no,
important.
it is. So I think we're going to start with all the franchise tags, like the biggest names that are franchise tagged. And just when it comes to like other safeties, because the amount of safeties we have to talk about in this episode is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
First of all, the Landon Collins was not getting franchise tagged by the Giants. He's going to be a free agent, which was, I mean, I'm sure, again, a lot of you guys probably know this news already, so we're going to just kind of talk about how this might impact things like that.
Yeah.
We'll kind of just go through all the safeties. So the Ravens cut Eric Weddle, which was pretty wild as well. And when it comes back to Landon Collins, of course, the New York Giants, like that, it really surprised me. I mean, sure, he was owed quite a bit of money if you're going to franchise tag him. He's going to be owed like $11 million to franchise. But I mean, Landon Collins has been an incredibly efficient safety in his career.
Need it too.
Yeah. And I mean, over the last 3 seasons, he's led all D-backs with 125 stops. And like the next closest is 32 behind him, Tony Jefferson. So like, I mean, when it comes to his ability to make tackles and make plays, he's right there with the best of them. He's debatably is the best, at least, most able to make those plays. And the Giants are going to be, having tried to replace him with someone. Apparently they want to spend a little bit less money on a safety, even though they're willing to spend a lot of money on an Eli Manning. So,
Hey, he won us 2 Super Bowls.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
cool.
12 years ago.
Thanks, Eli. Thanks, Giants. So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where these type of guys end up. The 2 teams that come to mind for teams that need a safety are the Rams and the Colts for me, and the Colts have a lot of cap space.
Yeah, no, we were talking about that today. It's insane.
$97 million in cap space.
That's so much.
That is unbelievable. Like they could pick up anybody they want to pick up.
You want Antonio Brown? Sure. Le'Veon Bell? Sure.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Literally Landon Collins? Sure.
Any one of these safeties? Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be, they're definitely the team I'm one of the most interested in following for free agency. But yeah, I mean the Rams could use a safety. I mean, who do you think would be most likely to land in LA? Who do you think? Because they said they're not going to be re-signing LaMarcus Joyner.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure which one of these contracts is like a little bit more tasty for him. Maybe like Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah, I could see that.
Would be because I think his is a little bit less than some of the other buddy from Arizona.
For sure. Yeah, I could see Weddle or Collins especially landing in Indianapolis.
Yeah, because those guys definitely have a lot bigger numbers.
Well, yeah, and I just think the leadership that Weddle would bring to that secondary would be probably pretty necessary. For
a nice
Colts.
veteran guy.
They could use him for sure. So another franchise tag was DeMarcus Lawrence, tagged by the Cowboys, which I think kind of everyone was expecting that for them to bring him back. Obviously, he's a fantastic player, and this is the second year in a row he was franchise tagged. So not any big surprise there, right?
Yeah, and they're talking like they think that they'll get a contract done even before the season starts.
Yeah, so
for him, so
not surprising.
I mean, the Cowboys need that. He's like their defensive lion.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Especially now with Randy Gregory now indefinitely suspended.
Oh, for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Cowboys. They're either going to take somebody in the draft or they're going to find somebody in free agency. So,
yeah, I mean, there's so many good defensive linemen. I think a lot of people are going to take some in the draft.
Yeah, I fully expect the Cowboys to solidify that D line in the draft. The Chiefs tagged D Ford, but what's interesting about the Chiefs with this though is, according to Adam Schefter, they're listening to trade offers for D Ford after franchising him, which is very interesting.
Yeah, that's super weird.
Ian Rappaport also reported that it's a second rounder tag for D Ford, which is really interesting. Because that actually seems like a decent value for a guy like that who can bring production to your defensive front, and which it also surprises me that the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Chiefs would do that because their defense is just.
Well, yeah, and they cut Justin Houston.
They were only gonna get rid of one of them. I don't know why on earth they'd get rid of both.
Exactly.
Because I know they only had the space for one, but like, what are they gonna do if they lose both?
Yeah,
unless they're gonna go super heavy on D line in the draft,
and maybe that's what they're hoping to do. But like, I saw a lot of Chiefs fans really pissed that they cut Justin Houston, and I mean, to me that made sense. Try to free up that cap space.
He's older.
Yeah,
yeah,
but like, it's really surprising. I was taken back by the news that they were actually considering offers for D Ford for a second rounder, which was basically the biggest surprise to me so far. Then, of course, the rumors have been that Nick Foles, next news is Nick Foles is likely to sign with the Jaguars, although there's been some kind of counter rumors to that those were false following the initial very definitive rumor that he was signing with the Jaguars. So at this point, I'm going to believe that it just seems like the most likely spot for him.
Yeah, we said that last week too.
Yeah.
That it just seems like a place. I don't know. The Jaguars always just feels like a place to go to die, though.
Right. I mean, again, after thinking about it again this week and looking into it, I mean, Nick Foles, we haven't seen him in a full-time role. You know, I mean, we saw him for a little while there with the Eagles after the Carson Wentz injury. But, you know, for a guy when it's actually his team when they bring him in to be the guy, we haven't seen that since he was in the Rams. And it seems like he's grown a lot since then as a quarterback.
So, do you think, better or worse than a Matt Castle type?
Well, it's just so weird. Because I just don't.
Like, do you think he'd be better or worse than, you know, that guy who's the backup does well?
Yeah.
You think he has a better?
I mean, Matt Castle had like one good season with the Chiefs and then kind of just crapped the bed.
Yeah, tampered off.
He was really bad.
Yeah, he was.
That. But
do you think Nick Foles can have at least one good season?
It just depends what you mean by good. Is he a
I don't
top 12 quarterback? Probably not. Probably not.
I kind of feel like he might be, personally.
I mean, maybe fringe top 12.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to make any ridiculous claims.
Okay, would you rather have Kirk Cousins or Nick Foles?
Man, that's tough. Like, the thing, like, Kirk Cousins, you know what you're going to get.
Well, do you? That's the problem.
No, that's a problem. Yeah, he's not going to show up.
You know what you're going to get season long.
Yeah, season long, but from game to game, yeah, you have no clue. He can have a 500 yards passing and 4 touchdowns, or he's gonna walk out with like 195 yards passing and two interceptions.
Yeah,
he's so hit or miss. It's crazy how
tempting me with hit or miss references, but from our younger audience. But no. Yeah, Nick Foles. I don't know. I think I'd rather have Kirk Cousins, but Nick Foles is intriguing.
I think I'd rather go with the gamble
with Nick Foles. Interesting.
I think I would.
Yeah, it just scares me with what we saw kind of him when he's taken the role as the starter. For that time in Philadelphia, he wasn't great, and his time in St. Louis was a train wreck.
The thing, though, it was like the start of the year is tough. Like this year, teams are figuring it out. You know.
No, sure. I'm just not convinced he's going to be a long-term option for any team.
And then he ended up, bringing the Eagles back in the end. Man, he was.
Well, that's the thing. It just makes no sense.
I think he would have personally. I think if Alshon Jeffrey catches that, they win that game, and I don't know what happens next.
That really sucked. I was interested to see what was going to happen with the whole Nick Foles story.
I know. I wanted to finish out the drive. Like, how did Alshon Jeffrey just miss a slant route?
That's rough.
Right in the face, like right in the hands.
Yeah. So we're definitely going to keep updating that once that actually becomes official, if that does become official in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
And then, now that kind of brings us to the Antonio Brown fiasco that we keep hearing about. All these updates, literally constant updates about Antonio Brown and where teams, or what teams are looking for and what teams are interested in him. So like the original news was the Cardinals, Raiders, Broncos, and Jets were kind of like the 4 favorites to get him. Then it was reported that the Cardinals and Jets kind of have dropped out of the race. That was kind of just reported within the last 48 hours. And that kind of makes sense to me. If the Cardinals if the Steelers aren't interested in any type of quarterback situation there with Josh Rosen, that's kind of I think what the Cardinals are interested in looking for. And the Jets, they don't necessarily need the wide receiver help. They have Robbie Anderson still, of course he is a restricted free agent. And they have Quincy Enunwa and guys like that, so they don't desperately need a wide receiver.
Need a quarterback.
I mean, come on, man, you gotta give him a little bit more time, right?
I don't know.
Sam Darnold, man.
I was never that high on Sam. You know who was the last quarterback that came from USC to then play for the Jets? Mark Sanchez.
Hey, the butt fumbles, legendary. Don't diss those butt fumbles.
I just don't know.
No, yeah. So now what we're hearing is that basically it's like the Raiders, the Redskins, and the Titans are the 3 teams that are really interested.
Why would he leave?
Antonio Brown's got to be pissed. There's no way he wants to be on any three of those teams.
Here's the thing, though. Like, Antonio Brown at this point is borderline distraction, like big-time distraction. He is teetering on the edge of prima donna, big-time distraction.
What happened? I saw some kind of
no
horrible
NFL
jokes.
No NFL team wants that.
You know that Vontaze Burfict hit?
Yes.
People, like, I've seen some pretty horrible jokes about the moment Antonio Brown changed, like that perfect hit. But yeah, I don't know. Pittsburgh got a bad culture after the Le'Veon Bell situation to leave thing. Yeah,
like this became a big time.
But it's weird because AB's been blaming this on Big Ben, not the ownership or the general, or like even Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, it's so weird.
So weird.
Like, dude, the
AB
rapist tweets, like
yeah, and AB's like, bro, AB's, you've been targeted like hundreds, over 100. You're getting 100 receptions every season. What do you want? What do you want? You're on a great offense with a team that's contending for the playoffs with like a legitimate shot at the Super Bowl every single season. Do you want to go play for the Raiders? Yeah. Do you want to go play for the Titans? Do you want to go play for the Redskins?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what he wants.
Do you want a broken leg Colt McCoy throwing you the ball in Washington?
Colt McCoy is what I want. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't want the Hall of Fame quarterback throwing me the ball. I want Colt McCoy with a broken leg throwing me the ball.
Yeah, I don't want a 2-time Super Bowl winner.
Gosh,
I mean,
dude.
It's not like Eli too, where he just completely fell off. Like, Big Ben still had great seasons.
Like, I wasn't blaming AB for wanting a trade because I just assumed that he thought the culture was bad. But now that he's blaming Big Ben,
straight up just targeting,
and
his
apparently he's okay with going to the Raiders or the Redskins or the Titans. What?
The Raiders are such a dump too.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's a terrible spot for if you're AB. Like, why would you want to be in
Derek Carr
places?
doesn't have Derek Carr could do better with Antonio Brown. Like, I mean, I think there'd be a massive improvement. Oh yeah, can Colt McCoy get it there?
Yeah, I mean,
and can Derek Carr stay healthy? All big questions.
Yeah, like
it's really backfired on him. It has really backfired on him. That's
sure. There's no, at this point, from every option that we've seen, it's teams that desperately need a wide receiver, and they don't have a quarterback. Like, if you were AB, you were hoping for some magical trade to like the Colts. That's what you were hoping for.
Yeah,
but that obviously, yeah, like obviously that's not happening now. Like, yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. Like, do you really want Marcus Mariota throwing you the ball? Probably not. Probably not. You don't want to be in that offense. No. But yeah, that is just a trash can situation. And regardless, I don't think anyone's going to be winning that situation at this point.
No. Yeah. It's all bad.
Well, because that was the report. We forgot to mention this, that Ian Rappaport reported that Steelers still want a first rounder for AB. And yeah, with how AB's acting, I just don't see a team willing to offer this. Like, offer a first. Yeah. Who has the leverage? Like, it's the other teams.
No, yeah,
it's not the Steelers. Yeah,
no.
Because at this point, if they don't trade AB, I don't know. I'm not convinced AB's going to play a game. He'll just take the fines.
Yeah, he'll just do exactly what Le'Veon Bell did. Just not show up.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is way worse for him because he's not as young.
Oh no, and he's right.
He loses a year.
Yeah, it's definitely worse for him.
This will go down as a wild time in sports history with Kawhi Leonard, Le'Veon Bell, and maybe Antonio Brown now. Like, this is a wild.
It's a really weird situation. It's not. Yeah. It's never going to be a norm in the NFL for something like this to happen.
No, it's never been a norm anyway.
Right.
It's such a weird thing.
Yeah, for sure. And the kind of last piece of news, which is a little more insignificant, I guess. The Raiders locked up a deal to actually play in Oakland for next season before their stadium is done in Las Vegas. So, good for the Raiders. They get to play in Oakland for another year. Increases their chances of bringing back beast mode. So, who knows?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, I guess our next kind of talking point is going to be the NFL draft because, man, now Combine's passed. We are in full-blown draft mode for the next month or so, month and a half. And all the talk, man, all the talk coming out of this combine weekend has been the Cardinals trading or the Cardinals picking Kyler Murray and trying to trade away Josh Rosen. Like that has been all the talk.
What's crazy to me is last year Josh Rosen was their guy. They traded up to get him, and now they're just going to dump him for Kyler Murray.
That's what happens when you get a new head coach, man. Anything can happen.
That's true. That's true.
And man, especially when your head coach was the coach that coached Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Literally anything can happen at that point.
I do not believe. I don't believe he's going to be a good coach in the NFL.
Really?
Like, how is a Texas Tech offense? Like, Texas Tech, like, he was never good at defense.
I mean, job one of an NFL coach is to manage your staff. And like if you're able to bring on the right guys.
I guess if you can pick a great defensive core like what
Sean McVay.
He did a great job picking
with his staff.
A sagely old, defensive coordinator.
Exactly. He's doing a good job there. But I don't know. He's an exception, not the rule. Yeah, no, I totally agree. So, I mean, if you're the Cardinals, what are you doing? If you're the Cardinals right now, you're sitting there. Obviously, you can't be happy with Josh Rosen. Can't. No, you're definitely not happy with Josh Rosen, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him for for looking at, another option there, right? So, what do you do if you're the Cardinals?
I don't know. This is tough because, you got Larry Fitz for another year. You're praising the heavens about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, do you want to waste? Like, if Kyler Murray is not a success, you wasted another first-round draft pick.
Right.
You wasted the number 1 overall draft pick again. And now you're out 2 quarterbacks, still needing a quarterback, and you're not developing. You're wasting, when you finally do get a quarterback, you've wasted 2 years of first-round draft picks.
Okay, so
it could have been O-line. That could have been, a weapon, a running back.
Right. What's the price of Josh Rosen where you're like, I'm definitely trading him? Would it be a first-rounder? Would you be like, if a team offers a first-rounder, will you?
Yeah, you take him because then you feel like you haven't lost anything.
Yeah.
It's a wash.
Even if it's like a team that is in the 20s, like 25th, would you be okay with that?
Yeah, because then you can still get a really quality lineman or
a piece
weapon again. Yeah, exactly.
Or even a wide receiver.
Yeah, exactly. Even a wide receiver.
Because that's the thing. Christian Kirk, as far as I know, they're not sure if he's going to be able to be ready for training camp because of his injury. So, yeah, they need some help there. I think they might. I could see them bringing back a piece. Bringing in another wide receiver piece of free agency as well.
Do you think a team is willing to give up a first-round draft
pick,
though, for Rosen? Really?
I think so. I think it would definitely not in the top 15, probably not even the top 20, but maybe if you're one of those teams sitting back there, like say you're the Chargers, and you kind of want to, and now you can look at Josh Rosen and you're like, he's got the skill set to be there. He has a year now as a starter under his belt. We can bring him in, let him sit behind Phillip Rivers for 2 years,
get him a little bit more coached
up.
Yeah,
see what
I guess
he can do.
If you see that,
or if you're the Packers.
But my question is, do they see a stud?
That's the problem. That's the question.
After watching that, I don't know. But the thing is, like Peyton Manning had, you get the thing, like Peyton Manning had a bad year.
Yeah,
and
we think about how bad, think about how bad Mitch Trubisky looked last year.
That's true, and he looks like a whole nother.
He looks like a solid quarterback now.
Yeah.
So that's what coaches are interested in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look what Sean McVay was able to do. Turn U-turn careers, man.
Jared Goff was now a stud.
Yeah.
Not in the Super Bowl, but.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not in the Super Bowl. So I think if you're a team like that, Packers, if you're a team that has an established quarterback, and you're interested in, I mean, even if you're the Redskins, it's interesting. Maybe you don't give up a first rounder if you're the Redskins. But maybe you offer a second and a future second or third, something like that. And you package that together for Josh Rosen. I mean, if you're interested in it, you know, and he has the elite, you know, talent. At least what we hope is talent still there, natural ability. And then maybe it just needs the right situation, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he was in a, like, Cardinals.
He was thrown into the fire.
Yeah,
and
he was.
Obviously, it wasn't a good coaching situation there.
Yeah, I can't hate him too. Like, you can't. Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're the Cardinals, I don't know if you necessarily want to give up on him, but, you know, if you're Cliff Kingsbury, the thought of picking your guy with the number 1 overall pick and getting your quarterback.
That's the danger, though, in the same light. Like, you pick him, he sucks.
I mean, sure. But, I mean, if you're Cliff, you want to do whatever it takes to get your guy to be able to run your offense, to be able to give yourself what you believe is to be the best chance to win.
Yeah.
You know? Like, do you want to run out there with Josh Rosen? I don't know. Probably not. Not after what you saw last year, which statistically, QBR-wise, was the 3rd worst season since 2006 for any quarterback that ever started since 2006.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
That's the ultimate question.
I am just...
Okay, so...
The more I look at Kyler Murray, the more I'm like, it's not worth it.
Oh, man. See, I'm the opposite. The more film I've watched of Kyler Murray, the more I've heard scouts talk about the conversations they've had with him, the more what I saw from like other quarterbacks at the combine. I don't know. I just think he is worth
Kyler Murray is going to get hit at the Cardinals.
See, but that's the thing. I think Colin Cowherd had a good point, actually. I was listening to him talk about this a little bit last week, I think. And he was talking about how as a big quarterback, you come into the league and you know you can take the hits. You're like Cam Newton, you know? I'm taking these hits, and I can take them. But then there's quarterbacks who are big who think they can take the hits, but they can't. Like Big Ben. He takes hits, but he gets hurt all the time, you know?
Well, now he does. He didn't back in the day.
Sure.
That's more the aging thing.
But then there's also small quarterbacks who think they can take the hits. And that's where the issues come. Like Lamar Jackson, you know, people were terrified of Lamar Jackson because he was willing to take the hits. That was the thing with RG3. RG3 loved taking the hits.
Yeah.
Like, you are dumb. You are dumb. Do not take the hits, RG3. So the biggest question...
He could throw the ball so well, too.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing is, but Kyler Murray's a pocket passer, but not only is he a pocket passer, he's incredibly athletic, incredibly fast, and incredibly slippery. So... And what we saw in college was he didn't take hits. He never took big hits. He had the ability to get out of the pocket when he had to, or was able to avoid that hit, get the ball out of his hand, throw the ball out of bounds. He made smart decisions with the football most of the time. And I mean that's why so many scouts absolutely love him. And
I mean, yeah, his numbers look very close to Baker Mayfield's.
Yeah. And under Lincoln Riley forced him to be a pocket passer just like Baker Mayfield. And when you have a guy who just came out of the system and a guy who sat behind Baker and worked with Baker and now Baker's successful and looks like he's going to be a franchise quarterback, I totally understand why the Cardinals would be interested in doing that. But okay, how about we'll move down the line? We kind of got stuck on that for a little bit.
Yeah,
but let's move down the line.
Also,
okay, so if you're the Cardinals, you take Kyler Murray. All right, now you're the 49ers. How do you not take Nick Bosa? You have to, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think you. Do you like Nick Bosa better than
yes.
I like? I think they're all pretty. I like the top three are all pretty good.
I agree.
I'd say you take your pick of what you think.
Nick
you
Bosa
gotta take one of those three.
Is literally Joey Bosa, but stronger and faster. That's terrifying. Bro, I mean, literally, you watch him and you just see Joey Bosa. You see the same player. He has the same moves, same ability to get to the quarterback. They're literally the same person. Like, I think Nick Bosa is the safest pick in, like, I don't want to say draft history, but in a long time.
But besides the whole, I mean, like,
his injuries are
obviously with
scary.
like, it's like JJ and TJ except switch. So like TJ came first and then it was JJ.
Not even though. because TJ wasn't even as good in college. Like Nick was just as good as Joey, if not better.
Yeah. I mean, they're both just put up insane. They were just home wreckers.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I mean, that's what gets scouts salivating, because we've been able to see what Joey's been able to do. But the biggest question with Nick is injuries. He had 2 injuries.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though they both were quote unquote fluky injuries, it's hard to decipher that. And I mean,
that's my main concern.
I think if a team doctor is okay with it, man, if you're the Cardinals, it's hard. It's even hard to pass up on Nick Bosa at number 1, even if you want Kyler Murray that much. I think he's that good of a prospect. That good.
I mean, both him and his brother are just freaks.
Like, I think he's the type of guy where, like, if you have him on a rookie deal for 3 years, like, you can win a Super Bowl with that deal, with that production on your team, if he's healthy.
And we've seen what Joey's been able to do too in the NFL, and it's been,
I mean, he's one of the best defenders in the AFC. It's like he's right there. So it's like, at the end of the day, and like what we've seen the importance of rookie contracts these last few years, and we've seen it in every sport. We've seen it in the NBA. They look what the Warriors were able to do with rookie contracts, and the ability of that type of stuff. So it's like, I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, you have to pick the guy who you believe is going to help your team the most. And I think the Cardinals are going to take Kyler Murray. And I really do believe at that point the Niners can't pass on Joey Bosa.
No, and all defensive help is definitely very welcome for him.
Yeah. So then the question comes, I think the Raiders are really interesting. So, like, what do you think is going to happen here?
Raiders is very interesting because, they've said Derek Carr is their guy.
But
it's Gruden.
Is he? Yeah.
Exactly. And so I don't know what other external forces may be. They've obviously gave up Khalil Mack, so they're lacking on the defense. Khalil Mack's like, we want guys that want to be here, Josh.
Right. I just think at that point, I think I think Quinnen Williams will be off the board. I think the Jets take Quinnen Williams. I don't think D tackle is not their biggest need, but at that point, how do you pass on him? He's an elite prospect. You got to pay. You got to take
insanely
him.
impressive.
So then the next guy is Josh Allen from Kentucky, and so if you're the Raiders, you're looking down the barrel, and you see Josh Allen there,
Yeah.
So you see Josh Allen there. You see Dwayne Haskins there.
Now I think he's the best quarterback to me. But
now that's interesting.
Everybody's got to decipher that for themselves.
Or you look for maybe you look for offensive line help. You look at Jonah Williams from Alabama. An
Alabama offensive lineman is never a bad take.
Right.
They've been so
I think it's definitely one of those 3 guys: Josh Allen, Dwayne Haskins, or Jonah Williams. Linebacker, because they need him really bad. They need, and it depends what they think of Derek Carr. And then you look at Jonah Williams, and maybe if you believe in Derek Carr, then maybe you go Jonah Williams. You know, and try to solidify the offensive line.
I think that's a very probable choice for Gruden. And help their running game a little bit, help help Derek Carr a little bit. I think that's, if I was gonna guess, I think they'd take him.
Okay,
so.
Well, if you were the Raiders, what would you do? Do you believe in Derek Carr?
No, I'd take Dwayne Haskins.
Nice. So would you keep Derek Carr, or would you try to dish him out?
No, I'd keep him. I'd keep him around.
Okay.
I'd want to get. I'm big on letting the quarterback get comfortable. It's a bit. Every sport is a big learning curve, and they both compete for the job. I mean, I think the competition.
Look what the Browns did last year. It worked.
It did because you have to have them legitimately compete for the job. You can't just because you drafted them put them in.
It's also nice.
Who's going to be best?
Because you let the other dude burn in the fire for a little bit.
Exactly, and that gets
it worked for the Browns
up to speed. Exactly,
the sacrifice. Oh my word!
Yeah,
it's rough.
Derek Carr could be your sacrificial lamb.
I mean, what's interesting though is the Bills they let Josh Allen just burn alive out there. They threw him out there. They're like, best of luck, get destroyed. get absolutely wrecked.
We believe in you.
Yeah, have fun. And they just let him burn alive out there last year. So
I feel bad because I think he needed more time than any of the quarterbacks. He definitely had the body and the build,
but
he
they
needed
didn't
lot
have
of
anyone else. I mean, we saw that.
That's true too.
Yeah, Mr. 5 interceptions himself. But that's I think, again, back to the draft, though. I love the idea. I do like Josh Allen a lot from Kentucky.
Yeah.
I like him a lot, but I'd be totally fine if the Raiders go any of those three ways. The Haskins pick is obviously really sexy, and we know John Gruden and sexy picks, how that works. So we'll see. I'm really interested to see what the Raiders do there. They could go literally any of those three ways.
What's so interesting is Haskins is like, by all the scouts, is the consensus best, but we think Kyler Murray is going to go first. That's what's so interesting.
I mean, man, from experts' rankings, a lot of guys have Haskins number 1, but I'm not convinced about Haskins. We've only seen one year of him in Ohio State, and he didn't shine all the way through. Right? He didn't shine all the way through.
I don't know. There's a lot going on. I mean, he was 12-1.
Well, yeah, but so was their kicker. Like everyone, like I don't know. Obviously, a record matters.
For the quarterback, and and
they did it without Nick Bosa. So,
and Urban Meyer,
the whole Urban Meyer controversy,
offense, and the whole controversy. Like, there's a lot going in that locker room. So that's a tough year.
But
I just still not a big fan of Kyler Murray's throwing motion, at all.
It doesn't bother me. I mean, Haskins. Again, Kyler Murray is a pocket passer. Haskins is also a pocket passer. But I'm a little worried about Haskins' ability, mobility when it comes, he just...
yes, I think he definitely needs some better movement in the pocket.
His ability to move inside the pocket itself does worry me a little bit.
Yeah, because that's the biggest thing for a pocket passer in the NFL is that pocket awareness.
Because for me, from what I watched from Haskins, I felt like when Haskins really was comfortable in the pocket, when he had time to throw, he didn't miss. But when he was hurried, he would get anxious and waste a possession, get a little, and the pressure would really affect him, get inaccurate, things like that.
But the thing is, if you rank deep balls, you want Haskins over Murray. Yes.
I don't think I would. I think I'd rather have Murray.
No, I'd rather have Haskins.
I can't wait. I'm becoming more of a Murray fan every day.
I know, and I'm becoming more of a Haskins fan because
this is great. This is going to work really. This is going to be really exciting for us long term because I can't wait to see what happens there with both of those guys.
I think I just think people are overexcited and putting too much weight on being able to get outside the pocket. Yes, with Aaron Rodgers, it's awesome. Russell Wilson, it's awesome. Patrick Mahomes, but that's tough to do.
Right.
It's
best Favre, when it's not a necessity, but they're really good at doing it. We've seen that over and over again with the most effective way to be a quarterback.
Not sure, yes, Kyler Murray had a great completion percentage. So did so many other quarterbacks. He played at Oklahoma. The Big 12 sucks at defense. The Big 10's a lot better of a defensive. Haskins put up better numbers. 50 touchdowns is insane.
But what we've seen from Lincoln Riley, though, is now multiple times in a row.
Yes,
he develops NFL guys.
Baker was half and half, though.
I mean, of course, but nonetheless, yeah. Overall, they could both be really good. I mean,
they could be.
I don't dislike either of them. It's not a situation where last year, I was low on Rosen going into the draft, and I was low on Allen, Josh Allen, and Josh Rosen. I was low on both of them, and at this point, I'm not convinced that any of the guys from last year, besides Baker, are going to be good long term.
I was high on Baker.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
I was.
You were.
Record show.
You were.
And I knew it. Come on, a Wyoming quarterback. You're going to tell me that's going to go over well? No.
Hey, you never know, man. But
it's true. But
No, yeah, for sure. I think it was a good conversation. Overall, though, yeah, it's good. I can't wait. We're going to talk more about this. We should probably just dedicate a whole episode to it. I mean, we did just dedicate like 15, 20 minutes to it. But, yeah, overall, I'm excited. I can't wait for it. And I think that should basically do it for this episode. Do you want to end with a few one-word questions?
Yeah, for
make
sure.
Make it a thing for the podcast. Some like one-word questions or one-word answers. Not one-word questions, of course. One-word answers to
one-word
to
questions are
multiple word
tough.
questions.
Yeah, multiple word
Pizza?
Yes.
I can do one-word answers and one-word questions. Let's go.
It's all just in the inflection, I guess.
All right, so okay, here we go. Here's your one-word answer to all my multiple word questions.
Okay.
Where will Landon Collins end up?
Colts.
Okay, all right. I kind of gave you a softball there. Nice little easy toss. Yep. Who is the best safety in the free agent class?
Honey Badger.
Wow, really? Hot takes. Sheesh. Okay, all right. I can work with it. What is in store? What is in store for D Ford's future?
Chiefs.
All right, fine. You can be boring.
Hello?
How good will Nick Foles be next season?
Josh, I can't hear you.
Well, your internet's being dumb. Hello.
Hello. Hey.
Okay.
I can hear you
Yeah,
now.
apparently your internet just cut out or something for a second. All right.
Yep. We're good.
I'll edit that. All right. What's in store for Nick Foles' future?
Championships.
Oh my gosh.
That was mostly a joke.
Okay. What does Antonio Brown's future hold?
A trash can.
Oh my word.
No, I'm
The
just
hate.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
The
The
hate.
hate trade.
Yep. All right. When I say Kyler Murray, what comes to mind?
Overrated.
Oh, disgusting. When I say Washington Redskins, what comes to mind?
Sad.
Oh, yeah. That's about right.
That's sad.
And what should our subscribers do?
Well, what should our listeners do?
What should our listeners do?
They should become subscribers.
Yes.
Subscribe.
Yes.
Oh,
That
you know
is
you want to
right.
hit that button. You want to listen. I know you do.
Mm-hmm.
I know you do over there. You listen while you're working or driving or probably not listening.
Yep.
wanna
But for all of you
subscribe.
that made it to this point in the podcast, I love you a lot. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, I will give you a hug. I will tattoo your face on my forearm.
Oh, wow. It's pretty
I will.
dedicated. So
Yeah.
leave a comment if you guys enjoy this, guys. We really appreciate it. All the support on the podcast, especially early on like this, means a lot. So we love seeing all the comments and all the feedback and everything.
Appreciation.
Yep, definitely. So, again, this was episode 2 of the NFL Backseat Sports Podcast. I'm Josh, and that is Caleb. Like, comment, favorite, and
Hi.
subscribe if you're on YouTube. And these videos will be showing up. These videos will be showing up on iTunes and other podcasting sites soon. We're waiting to gather up a few podcasts before we post them onto those sites. With that said, like, comment, favorite, and subscribe if you enjoyed it. And as always, guys, I'm Josh, and that's Caleb, and we'll see you next time. See ya.